Yo, what's up? What's up? It's your boy Domuto. We're back with another video. Today we're watching the original Merno versus the Multiverse. You know what I'm saying? Today we're watching part whatever through whatever today. I don't know. Hold on. Part 16 through 19. So hopefully. Yeah, it's getting good. It's getting good. So hopefully we see some more action today. So let's get into it.
This will be your final act of rebellion to save your dying universe from extinction. The fear of losing power is a weakness of both the gods and mortals alike. I will show you, little by little, the true embodiment of limitless power. You may come at me as you'd like, for as many of you as you please. None of it will matter. How long, Whis? How long until you think Father will intervene to save you all as he did before? He must be very busy with those little brats if he had gone to abandon you all like this. I need a good warm-up anyway, so go on. All of you, fight for your universe's survival.
Keep talking shit, alright,
final fight that you worms will ever have the honor to wage. The harvest has begun. As with even Gohan shown having to turn towards Piccolo, Gohan went on to tell Piccolo, "It's all or nothing, Piccolo. If we can't stop him, then at least we will distract him." "It's been an honor, Gohan," Piccolo says. And as the two then went on to charge on up, Gohan then went on to respond, "It's been an honor as well, Piccolo. Thank you for always being by my side. Here's to one last battle together. Now let's show him what we're made of." As both the androids and Majin Buu end up doing the same, Android 17 went on to respond, "Let's go, 18. We'll catch him when he isn't looking. You know what you need to do, Buu. We're counting on you." "Buu won't let you down," Majin Buu says. As even then, a gigantic aura is shown bursting up into the sky as Goku had finally unleashed the powers of Mastered Ultra Instinct. As even Goku is not looking to hold anything back himself, Goku then went on to comment, "Now you will see my all. Everything we've ever been through has led us to this very moment. The ultimate test against the ultimate enemy. We won't let you get away with all of the innocent lives you've destroyed. If you want to rule over a new multiverse by ending our lives along the way, then we're going to make you work for every bit of it." And with Beerus also then shown having to close his eyes and doing the exact same thing, Beerus then went on to comment, "My title and honor as a destroyer is on the line along with my entire universe. I must try. Even if I die, I refuse to accept a coward's death. I am Lord Beerus, God of Destruction. You should have listened to me when you had the chance, Champa," Beerus says. "You were always too stubborn to take action, always trying to prove yourself as being the better sibling. Well, you did. Your sacrifice has helped buy us the time that we need to push back and survive against him. I promise to bring you back when it's all over," Beerus says. And as soon as Beerus is then shown opening his eyes, we then see how Beerus had once again tapped into the powers of Ultra Instinct, as Beerus was also ready to lay down his life on the line by then continuing, "The angelic technique merged with the power of a god. My training is complete. I stand as the only destroyer to wield such a power, and with it, I will use everything to destroy you," Beerus says. As we then only see how both Mastered Ultra Instinct Beerus and Mastered Ultra Instinct Goku are then shown side by side and looking up, Goku went on to ask, "So you've mastered Ultra Instinct too, huh, Lord Beerus? So, what do you think? Do you think we can find an opening on this guy?" With Beerus responding, "No, but we'll never truly know unless you give it your all, Saiyan. On my go. Pay attention." As we then observe how full-powered Super Saiyan 3 Broly is shown charging on in, Merno had already recognized the entire situation at hand, as Merno went on to respond, "I want you to know that this anger of yours will not be what brings your friends back from the dead, mortal. This time, I promise you will not escape." And as soon as Broly is shown taking a shot as Merno went on to move out of the way, Merno continued to pester Broly on by telling him, "You have already forfeited your life the moment you stood across to oppose me, beast." As it was due to Broly's overwhelming speed in moving towards Merno in such a way that as soon as Merno had moved over to the side and causing Broly to go flying right past him, out of nowhere Primal Super Saiyan Blue Evolution Vegeta made his way behind Merno as he then went on to address Merno by telling him, "You're going to regret coming back. This time you won't get away from me. As if I would have any reason to run away from you. Vegeta, I didn't forget about what you did to my clone, and as soon as Vegeta attempts to punch Merno from behind, Merno effortlessly, without even having to look at him, went on to catch Vegeta's punch by telling him, "What did you think was going to happen once I found you? Before I smash your body into pieces, I want to see if my father's training had really made a difference for you. Maybe you're the one who knows where he's hiding." And as soon as Piccolo and Gohan are shown closing on in, while turning his head, Merno then went on to ask, "So the rats are sticking together now, are they? You wouldn't know anything about where the Grand Priest is hiding now, would you? Useless eaters." And as soon as Merno then throws Vegeta right into Piccolo and Gohan, out of nowhere once again, Broly attempts to get behind Merno and having to grab him, but this time around, Merno had gone on to dematerialize in such a way that as soon as Broly attempted to grab him, the only thing that Broly had gotten out of that was air, as Merno went on to tell him, "You think I wouldn't remember? This may have worked with my clone, but this little trick will not work so easily with me." As out of nowhere, just as quickly as Merno had dematerialized, he then went on to open up a portal and punching Broly in the face by telling him, "You're a disgrace." As the sheer force of this punch had sent Broly flying back, so much so that it took Majin Buu and quickly having to act and grabbing Broly by telling him, "Buu got you." As we then see how Merno was once again shown stepping on through, Android 17 and 18 were already there waiting, as 18 went on to comment, "Quick, 17, he's stepping through. Now's our chance," 17 says. "Whatever happens, don't stop blasting him. We need to draw his attention away from the others. Let's go, 18." As we only then see how Android 17 and 18 are shown continuously firing key blast after key blast after key blast. With all of these blasts shown making contact, Merno had then gone on to turn his head and acknowledging the androids by commenting, "Honestly now, I'm baffled. Artificially designed androids. What is any of this supposed to do? You don't deserve to breathe the same air as I do, let alone attempt to attack me." As out of nowhere, just as quickly as it happened, Merno had gone to dash directly towards them as 18 shouted, "Oh, holy crap! 17, watch out! Nah, damn it! 18, get out of here!" But it was already too late because Merno had gone on to double axe handle Android 17 across the head with so much force that as Merno had proceeded to hit 17, he then went on to tell him, "You have relinquished your life. Now watch from below as your world burned." And mind you, the sheer impact of this strike alone was so powerful that not only was Android 17 sent flying down below and crashing right through the lookout, but as quickly as it happened, Android 17's body had gone to hit the earth below as Android 18 shouted, "Please don't die, 17! I can't believe it! This angel's too much! We couldn't even see him, he's so fast." As indeed he was, because just as quickly as it happened, Merno had then gone on to charge directly at 18 by telling her, "Such filth does not belong among the highest of life forms. You will suffer before you leave this world," Merno says. As right then and there, before Android 18 can react, Merno had gone on in uppercutting 18 so hard in the gut that it literally had gone on to shatter all of her bones, including piercing her organs. As Merno then comments, "Ah, the sound of bones breaking and organs being smashed together. Music to my
Krillin, where you at, nigga?
You will watch
you might need to start a funeral,
as I kill
nigga.
your friends one by one while you slowly die." As we get to see how 18 is clutching onto her stomach, her entire body shaking, as 18 barely comments, I can't, my body, help me." As we then take a look at seeing how 18 had then descended on down to the lookout, she then continues, "He shattered my body from the inside. I can hardly breathe," she says. As in a very sinister way, with Merno looking down and smiling at the end result of this, Merno then comments, "That's right, mortal slave. Suffer. Every breath you take will be a painful reminder of who I am." But suddenly then Merno had gone on to detect something as he then continues, "Thought you can sneak up on me, did you? The two of you have been a thorn on my side since sending my clones." As out of nowhere, Mastered Ultra Instinct Goku attempted to kick Merno from behind, with Merno having to lean forward by responding, "I haven't forgotten about you, mortal warrior. No amount of improvement will come close to closing the gap between us. As it goes for you as well." As Mastered Ultra Instinct Beerus attempted to do the same thing by punching Merno from behind and missing, it was painfully clear during this moment that Merno had proven to be simply too fast for our heroes, as Merno then went on to continue, "Leaving your brother to die while you fled, coward. We'll just have to see about that," Goku says. And as soon as Goku Goku had finally then managed to connect the punch to Merno's face, Goku then went on to tell him, "We didn't forget about you. If you think getting rid of us will be that easy, then you have another thing coming." "Is that so, Saiyan?" says Merno. "He didn't even flinch," Goku says. "His body, what's his body made of?" As Merno then had gone on and grabbing onto Goku's punch and slowly removing his fist from his face, he then went on to tell him, "That one actually stung, but stinging me won't do you anything." As back down on Kame's lookout, as Goku has Merno preoccupied, then they went on to heal 18 by telling her, "Don't worry, 18, please don't move. I won't let you die on us. This is far worse than I thought," he says. "Please don't die on me. Hang in there. What an undeserving worm you are to be wielding the power of the angels," Merno says. Another example of the many mistakes made by the gods that needs to be corrected. Because before you know it, Merno had gone on to retaliate by punching Goku in the face by telling him, "This is but a glimpse of what real power feels like." As with one strike to Goku's face, Goku's body was sent flying on down and going through Kame's lookout and onto the earth below, which was eerily similar to Android 17 with Goku making his way down. Dende went on to quickly turn around and asking, "Was that Goku? Oh no, hang on Goku. Oh, this is bad. Hang on tight, 18, you're almost healed. Hang in there, Goku. Don't give in." As we then get to see how Goku's body is flying uncontrollably down onto the ground,
what you doing on the lookout? You need to be on the ground
"I can't
somewhere.
control my body from that shot. My attack was like nothing to him. I have to stop myself from falling any further, otherwise I'll go right into the Earth's core. Come on, body, the force is too much. Come on." Which, as Goku was struggling in maintaining balance and finding his composure to stop himself from falling on down, right before Goku's body was sent flying into the ocean and down below, Goku managed to stop himself just in the nick of time, as he then grabbed onto his face in absolute agony by commenting,
Right
my
hit the
head.
ground.
That couldn't have been his full power. I felt something deeper inside of him. "This is bad," Goku says. "We have to buy more time for the Grand Priest to arrive. We have to find another way," he says. As by now, each and every single one of them are now beginning to get picked apart by Merno one by one. With Merno shown effortlessly making easy work of our heroes, it was only then during that moment where Primal Super Saiyan Blue Evolution Vegeta was not done with Merno, because as Vegeta was shown charging on in, Vegeta was dead set on putting an end to Merno, as Vegeta went on to tell him, "I am much stronger than I was when I nearly ended your clone. Let's see how good your memory is." And with Vegeta then shown spawning an energy sword, he then went on to charge on him by telling Merno, "I don't care how powerful you claim to be, I'm going to put an end to your annoying existence once and for all. Good luck pulling yourself out of this one." As the second Vegeta had gone on and swinging the sword directly at Merno, Merno had went on to catch the sword by responding, "My memory is just fine. I do remember this little weapon of yours that you used to nearly end the clone Merno's life. But the clones are one thing, mortal, and I am another. This universe is putting up quite the effort to keep itself from being destroyed, isn't it? I know you were made aware of me by my demented father. This sword of yours annoys me," Merno says, as he then proceeded in crushing Vegeta's energy sword in his hand. But out of nowhere, behind him, Mastered Ultra Instinct Beerus was shown charging on in by shouting, "Gotcha! Hold him right there, Vegeta! You're too slow, you dirty animal," Merno says. And with Merno once again having to sidestep out of the way as Beerus came dashing on in, with all of the momentum that Beerus had in his attempts of punching Merno, Vegeta had just barely avoided Beerus' punch by telling him, "Lord Beerus, where did you— damn it, Vegeta, stay out of my way! I almost knocked your head clean off. I don't understand why you creatures continue to fight despite knowing the odds against you," Merno says. "You are all powerless to do anything against me, but yet you still continue to fight among one another in hopes of winning. Gather in numbers all you want, it won't make a difference. I will use you all as punching bags to warm up this body before the grand finale with the Grand Priest and those ridiculous Omni Kings." And as Vegeta and Beerus are then shown standing side by side with both Majin Buu and Broly joining them, Merno then went on to continue, "But I know that there is something that you aren't telling me. I know you know where they're hiding, and I will beat the information out of your lifeless bodies to get it. Otherwise, I'll force them out of hiding through you. Either way, there is no possible scenario where any of you survive against me. Now let's see which one of you will be the one who squeals.
Ooh, shit.
Go ahead, Merno says. Step forward. And don't worry, I won't tear you apart immediately. First, I'm going to torture you. Then I'm going to make you feel every bit of suffering as I felt during my exile. Now, which one of you wants to go first? Look at you all, fumbling around like the clueless idiots you are. Does it hurt your fragile little egos to see how powerless you all are to pull off a miracle here? This is the difference between us, and I just love it. Watching you worms suffer is only scratching the surface of my satisfaction. The ultimate fulfillment will come once I spill the blood of the Grand Priest and those ridiculous little Omni brats. As among the pack, full-powered Super Saiyan 3 Broly was the first to once again make a move on Merno, because as Broly went on to charge on in, without even batting an eye, Broly went on to shout, "You will die first!" You again, huh? Acting on your primal instincts alone only shows me how much of an animal you are in this worthless kingdom you call Universe 7.
Fuck.
And as soon as Merno was then shown having to speed blitz right past Broly as Broly was charging right at Merno, within milliseconds of doing so, Merno then went on to address Broly by telling him, "Allow me to demonstrate a portion of my great power and show you," which that was exactly what Merno had done, because even by speed blitzing right past Broly, before anyone could even realize it, let alone register what had just happened, Merno had gone on in attacking Broly with such precision and speed that not even Broly himself was able to see this, as Merno went on to tell him, "Your lives no longer have purpose." As with one devastating shot, Broly's body was then shown having to fly directly down onto the ground, as Primal Super Saiyan Blue Vegeta was not going to stick around in waiting to see what was going to happen, because Vegeta indeed was the second person now to charge right back at Merno, which as he did, in a fit of rage, as Vegeta was shown charging directly at Merno, Vegeta went on to shout, "Your clones were no different when they preached about their power. I don't buy it, Angel." But before Vegeta could do anything about it, Merno had once again gone on to demonstrate not only his speed, but his attack precision as well, in almost seemingly leaving Vegeta frozen in place, as Merno went on to tell him, "My clones were one thing, but I am another." Are you beginning to buy into what I'm telling you now, Saiyan? You could never quantify my power with such a primitive mind. My power was forged through eons of training with that grand traitor. I could kill you right now if I wanted to, Vegeta. But first I want to torture you before bleeding your bodies dry, especially since I know that they are watching. Will they save you in time, or will you die in vain like the rest of them? Damn. And as Vegeta is quickly then shown powering back down to base form and coughing up blood out of nowhere, Mastered Ultra Instinct Beerus tried to get a sneak attack on Merno by punching him, but with Merno being very cognitively aware of his environment, Merno had proceeded to grab onto Beerus' punch by telling him, "And you, Destroyer, you decided to only take action after learning of my existence. But what were you doing prior to discovering my plan of revenge? You sat around and did absolutely nothing with yourself," Merno says. And as he quickly had then gone on in pulling Beerus away and thrusting him directly into Vegeta, Merno had then went on to continue, "A true waste of space. Just like your pathetic brother. Away with you both, slaves!" As even then, with the amount of force that Merno was using, Beerus was thrusted into Vegeta, as both of them were then shown having to make their way down onto the Earth itself, which when taking a look back down on the Earth, we see how Broly is lying in a massive crater, as Broly went on to comment, "My body, I can't lose." As out of nowhere seconds later, both Beerus and Vegeta's body come crashing on down right next to Broly, with Merno himself also shown teleporting down below as well. That's when Merno went on to comment, "And there you three lie, and yet still no Grand Priest to come and save you."
Oh, shit.
"I'm surprised," Merno says. "I wonder what you're doing, father. I know you can hear me, wherever you may be hiding. Are you not going to save these creatures? Or are you scared to suffer as they are suffering right now? Just as I had once suffered," he says. "Multiple universes have been destroyed. You think this universe will be any different? I can feel your energy, but it seems to be coming from everywhere and nowhere at the same time. Are you channeling your life energy into something? You are, aren't you? Yes. I can sense it now, Merno says. While I was busy hunting these animals down, you used a portion of your life energy to lock the multiverse, didn't you? Now I understand. So you have been taking measures to stop me from achieving my plans after all, weren't you? But out of nowhere, once again, mastered Ultra Instinct Goku attempted to attack Merno from behind by telling him, yeah, and as long as we're here to stand up against you, you will never live long enough to see the multiverse be destroyed. Still squirming around, I see, Merno says. Your embarrassing little antics are beginning to annoy me. Come here, mortal. I always found you to be a very interesting creature, Merno says. And as Merno had gone on, in simply lifting up his finger and stopping Goku in place, he then went on to continue, you seem to possess a special kind of privilege that other mortals don't. What the? Goku says, I'm stuck. I can't move. And with Merno then shown having to pull Goku forward, Merno then went on to continue, I now remember something that only you hold the answer to. Goku, it's not your power that I'm interested in, it's your position in all of this.
Oh, shit.
You seem to be favored by the gods. Very much so, Merno says. I wonder why that is, creature. You, a lower life form than I. And what makes you so special, Saiyan? If memory serves me correct from the information that my clones have gathered, you are actually in contact with the Grand Minister and the Omni Kings, aren't you? They favor your feeble nature over my own existence. Why?
Oh, shit.
Where are they hiding, Merno asks. The original dimension they reside in cannot be found, which means they've moved. You will tell me where they are, mortal, or I am going to break every last bone in your pathetic mortal body. But even with Goku being frozen in place and not being able to fight back, that's when Goku went on to respond, oh yeah? Well, do your worst. I'm not telling you anything. If you really want to know, then you'll have to beat the information out of me to get it. Then that is exactly what I'm going to do. And with Goku then shown powering right back down to his base form, Merno with complete ease had then gone on in flicking Goku in the forehead by telling him, you should choose your words more carefully. Which when as soon as we see Goku's body having to crash land right next to Beerus, Broly, and Vegeta, Merno then went on to continue, as if you think killing you would be any sort of problem for me.
Where we at?
I'll find my way to the throne with or without your confession. And with Merno then shown having to slowly stick his arm out, he then went on to continue, I couldn't think of a picture-perfect moment than by having the four of you worms groaning in agony the way you are. Isn't it ironic? The four of you were the most troublesome bunch to my clones when I faced you all before. But the road of life ends here. But before Merno could actually go through in killing Goku, Vegeta, Broly, and Beerus, out of nowhere above him, a gigantic energy blast is shown having to make its way down onto him, to where as soon as Merno had gone on in catching the giant... as soon as Merno had gone on to catch the attack itself, that's when Merno went on to comment, this power, this energy is angelic. Whis. Which, as we see how Whis is then shown standing in front of Merno, that's when Merno went on to hold the blast by responding, and here I thought you ran off the moment I arrived to pay your little friends here a visit. A sneak attack, Whis. You should know better than to pull a cheap tactic like that on me of all individuals, Whis. That attack was only a mere distraction, Merno, and it was all I needed, which indeed it was, because as Merno was preoccupied by holding the attack above his head, Whis had momentarily found his opening in connecting a ferocious left hook which sent Merno flying out into the distance, as even with Merno's body shown flying out into the distance as he went on to scream out for Whis' name, Whis had then quickly gone on to spawn his staff and turning his head by telling the others, our battle in the 7th must continue. This war is not yet over. And as Whis stuck his staff out by healing the others, he then went on to tell them, quickly, all of you, rise and engage. There is no telling how much time I managed to buy for us, but we don't have any to waste. But as quickly as it happened, Merno was once again back by having to open up a small portal and grabbing Whis' hand by telling him, no amount of time can save you from me. This is insane, Goku says. How did he recover so quickly? Wait a second. That portal! I have to seal it, Goku says, and that's exactly what Goku tried to do, because while being healed, Goku had gone on to stick his arm out in responding, I can't let him pull Whis in! Ah, come on! His portal is extremely dense! Gotcha, Goku says, as he was lucky enough in sealing Merno's portal before Merno could actually pull Whis in. As we also then see how Merno's shadow clone arm was then severed, this had only then given our heroes the chance they needed to be healed in standing back up as Goku went on to address everyone by commenting, Lord Beerus, Broly, Vegeta, get up, we can't give in, especially now. He's got to have an opening that we aren't seeing, so we have to keep on trying until something changes here. Curse him, Vegeta says. It's as though he isn't even trying. Fighting him alone isn't cutting it, Beerus says, so you mortals are going to have to work together and attack him at the same time. You're still as green as I remembered you being, little brother, Merno says, as he had finally made his way back onto the battlefield. He then continues, an amateur move to make that you will not be making against me again. Your whereabouts intrigue me. Where were you when this fight began, Merno asks. Surely I'd expect you to aid these creatures, but you didn't. You were in communication with him, weren't you? Yes. I can sense it, Merno says. Just like I sensed his energy surrounding each existing universe. What are you worms scheming? Bring forth the Grand Priest and the Omni Kings before me now. But Whis is not saying anything, so instead, Whis had gone on to quickly get into fighting position by telling his brother, I never took you for a fool, Merno, so I'm not surprised that you would know. But you should be more concerned with the warriors who stand before you and not those who are not present. I swore to defend this universe and the throne with my life. And that's exactly what I'm going to do. As we only then see how Broly had gone on in going back into his full-powered Super Saiyan 3 transformation, Vegeta as well was also shown having to power right back into his primal Super Saiyan Blue evolution form by commenting, damn it. How is he this powerful? I cannot let him do this to me. As even then during that moment with everyone shown powering back up, out of nowhere behind Merno, there was a massive explosion shown taking place with Merno turning his head and responding, the attack Whis launched. He converted it into a blinding attack, which to Whis' credit he did because that was the whole point of a diversion. As with Merno shown looking away, that was when Whis went on to shout Merno's name and charging back in by responding, Merno, you will pay for your crimes against life. As even with Whis then shown attacking Merno to the best of his ability, Whis then also went on to shout, what are you all waiting for? Now is your chance to use your power! To which of course everyone then did, because as Vegeta was shown having to charge up for his final flash, he then went on to address Goku by telling him, enough is enough, Kakarot! Hurry up! Let's get rid of this guy once and for all! Listen everyone, Goku says, concentrate all of your power into merging our attacks together. If we're going to hit him with our best, then let's hit him with our best together. As everyone, including Broly and Beerus, were shown doing exactly
y'all need
that,
more niggas
Beerus
than that.
went on to stick his arm out in the Hakai pose by responding, I'm sick of this angel causing chaos inside of my universe. Just like his clone, I am going to erase him for good. As even with Goku shown charging up for his Kamehameha, Goku went on to address Broly by telling him, don't hold anything back, Broly. This is for everyone he's killed, for our families, for your friends, Broly. As with Whis shown having to do his best in his attempts of striking Merno, Merno was shown dodging each and every single one of Whis' strikes by telling him, you're a rat, Whis, and you still refuse to submit and accept your death despite knowing the odds are stacked against you all. Once I'm done using these idiots, I'm going to do to you what I did to our siblings. There is nothing that you possess that will surprise me that I don't know about. But Merno had gone on to speak a little too soon. As he attempted to strike Whis, Whis had gone on to create a clone in quickly being able to avoid Merno's strike by telling him, here's something you may remember from our training, an old technique that I learned from you. It's all or nothing, Vegeta. Let's hit this angel with everything we can. I'm going to crush you, Vegeta says. On my honor, you will pay for what you've done. Now you die, Broly shouts. For Chilai, for Lemo. You have crossed me for the last time, Beerus shouts. This is for all of the gods of destruction. This is for you, Champa. Hakai! And as everyone's attack was then shown having to make its way towards Merno, Merno had quickly gone on to notice this attack by responding, this power. They've combined their attacks. You idiots think this will be your miracle worker? Well, think again, worms! And as soon as Merno was then shown having to stop the attack with his elbows as his body was beginning to shake, it was only noticeable from there to see that Merno was starting to get very angry as Merno went on to shout, "You disgusting animals! You think you know power? You think merging your attacks together will crush me? Scratching me will be as far as you will go. Now you fools have my attention." As all the while back with the Grand Priest, we then see how the Grand Priest was indeed overseeing the entire multiverse, and at the same time also staying in direct contact with Whis. It was only then where the Grand Priest went on to overhear Whis' pleas for help, as the Grand Priest went on to say to himself, "I hear you, Whis. I am very well aware of everything he has done and continues to do. My presence is desperately needed. However, I am to not act without consulting the Omni Kings about the situation. If the Omni Kings learn of what's happening, they will surely act on instinct and obliterate everything as they once did. Angering either of them would be suicide, so I must persuade them in another way. With a portion of my energy holding the multiverse together from being destroyed, there is no telling what move Merno is going to make next. I was never forced into using my power in action like this since the beginning of time itself when I trained my children. Such power has never been seen or felt other than the Omni Kings during the Tournament of Power.
Right.
I have to convince them to allow me to use it. He's baiting me into drawing me out while restricted by the law of the angels and the rule of the great Omni King. They must hold on a little longer," the Grand Priest says. As the other destroyers and angels guard their universe, it would seem as though Universe 7 is the only universe thus far to hold Merno's attention fully without being destroyed. However, I sense an intense rage coming from within him. He's reserving himself, the Grand Priest says, for what I can only imagine would be for me. My son, what have you done? And for what? For pride. The mortals of the living world must do everything in their power to fight back. If they destroy him before my arrival,
where the top 5
all is
strongest
saved.
at?
However, I fear that Merno will soon lose his patience, and if that happens, then they will all be destroyed. These actions will not go without judgment, the Grand Priest says. With the multiverse sealed and protected from being destroyed, my energy can only hold these universes for so long. It's time to address the Omni Kings about the matter and see if I could convince him to grant me the permission that I need in order to put this matter to rest once and for all. The guards will be made aware, but the Great Kings must not learn of Merno's return through violence. I must talk them into thinking my battle with Merno will be for their entertainment. As all the while back on planet Earth, we then see how Merno had been completely overtaken by everyone's attack in such a way that despite the overwhelming amount of power that Merno might be dealing with, Merno even then refuses to back down as the blast itself is shown making its way ever so deeper into outer space. Meanwhile, back on Earth, we then oversee a massive crater that was left following the attack as Goku went on to comment, "What power! Great work, everyone. If we didn't combine our attacks, everything would have been destroyed." As with Broly shown huffing and puffing, trying to catch his breath just as Vegeta and Beerus are, Vegeta then went on to put this into question by asking, Do you think it worked? There's no way anyone could have possibly survived an attack like that, with Beerus responding, "I can't sense his energy." An attack of that magnitude had enough concentrated power to destroy the entire universe. There is no way he could have survived that, angel or not. So we wait, Beerus says. But even then, as Goku was also shown trying to catch his breath, out of nowhere, Goku then went on to comment, "Hey, wait a minute, Is that him? Are you guys sensing that? Right there, right in front of us. It can't be." Which, as it was, unfortunately for them, Merno was in fact still alive, as through the smoke we then get to see how there is an outline of Merno's silhouette, as Merno through the smoke went on to comment, "In all my years of existing, I never would have dreamed to see both destroyers and angels alike, beings who sit on top of the pecking order, aid and protect mortals the way I have seen here today. Each of you with different motives and intentions, different histories and different power. While I wanted to create a new utopia that was molded by the universe I once governed, Universe 13, they saw it as being too dangerous of an idea and wanted me gone. Well then, if they couldn't destroy me, How could you? And Vegeta is dumbfounded as Vegeta went on to shout, but that's just not possible. As lo and behold, through the smoke, we finally get to see how Merno had emerged. As Merno went on to continue, the answer is simple, and that's you can't. Surprised? I live. But that was crafty, I will give you that. You worms actually managed to scratch me a little. If anyone should know, Merno adds, it's you, Whis. The last time I used this body and pushed it to its limits, you were still being groomed to become an attendee, remember? And during that time, Merno adds, it was against our rotten father, as I was the first angel to ever face him and survive, even besting him once during a duel. And that little stunt of yours was the needle that popped the bubble. You pathetic bottom feeders could never match me, no matter how hard you try. But that's just not possible, Goku says. He's smiling. After all of that, he's smiling. He wasn't bluffing. He really is different than anything we've ever experienced before. And as Merno was shown casually dusting himself off, he then went on to continue, still no sign of the Grand Priest, I see. I suppose spilling a bit of blood might sway him into showing his face. Holding the multiverse together will only buy him so much time. Now then, which one of you is brave enough to go first? As Primal Super Saiyan Blue Evolution, Vegeta was the first to answer Merno's call, as Vegeta went on to shout, enough of this!
Sit your ass down,
You're
Vegeta.
mine!
Sit your stupid ass down.
Goku says, not like this! Don't do it, Vegeta! So the Prince of a Dead Race is the first, is he? What are you always so proud of, Merno asks, and with one casual uppercut to the face, Merno then continues, you are worthless. There is nothing for you to ever be proud of. To where the sheer force and impact of this one uppercut was so powerful that it ultimately sent Vegeta's body flying up through the air and even through Kame's lookout, with both Dende and Mr. Popo absolutely shocked. Dende went on to comment, holy crap, Mr. Popo, was that Vegeta? I'm afraid it was, Popo says.
After the other niggas, boy.
The atmosphere before his body went out into deep space, Vegeta had gone on and powering back down by saying to himself, this angel, how can we hope to beat someone like that? He broke my jaw. I can't feel my face or my body, he says. I don't know if I can do it. And with Vegeta's body shown stopping right at the edge of the atmosphere and then shown having to collapse its way back down onto the earth, as Vegeta continues to make his fall, he then went on to say to himself, I have to try. I promised them Bulma, Trunks, Bulla, Kaba,
you gonna blow yourself up again?
I must continue to try. As once again, Vegeta's body was then shown having to hit the ground on Kame's lookout, with Mr. Popo shouting, Dende, do you sense that? Vegeta's energy is rapidly decreasing. You must heal him before he dies. Oh, this feels so hopeless, Dende says. Mr. Popo, please keep an eye out for that angel. I'm going to try and help Vegeta, he says. As all a while back with the others, Goku had once again noticed that Beerus went on to charge in, as Goku shouts, wait, no! Please, Lord Beerus, don't! Don't try and stop me, Goku. I'm going to keep trying until it kills me. But as foolish as he was to go in there by himself, Merno had effortlessly backhanded Beerus across the face by telling him, you were already dead the moment I crossed into this universe. Fool, away. Which, as quickly as it happened, Merno had then gone on and speed blitzing in front of Broly by telling him, and now you were very fortunate to have escaped me before. And with Broly shown throwing a punch with Merno catching it, Merno then went on to continue, however, you won't be so lucky to do it again. What's the matter? Are you stuck? Do you feel that, savage? Aren't you going to try and avenge your dead friends? And with Broly then shown once again trying to punch Merno with his other arm, Merno with complete ease went on to stop Broly and holding his arms in place by telling him, yes, that's the spirit, Saiyan. However, these arms of yours are beginning to bother me. You won't be needing these anymore, mortal. Away with you. As Merno had then gone on and Spartan kicking Broly in the chest by holding his arms back, which subsequently enough had resulted in Merno creating such force by kicking Broly in the chest that as he was holding his arms, he just so casually from there had gone on and ripping Broly's arms out of his sockets, as Goku went on to comment, this is bad. This is very, very bad. First Vegeta, then Beerus, and now Broly. We can't lose either of them, especially Broly. He's going to bleed out if I don't help him. As with Broly shown reverting back down to his base form once again and lying on the ground in a pool of his own blood, that's when Merno went on to continue, let the beast drown in a pool of his own blood. He would have died sooner or later anyway. He'll be lucky to last another 3 minutes like this, he says, with Merno then shown throwing Broly's arms on the ground. He then continues, now all that leaves is you. I broke Vegeta's face and tore this Saiyan's arms off. Would you like to take a guess as to what I'm going to do to you? I wonder if ripping you apart will force the Grand Priest out of hiding and onto this world.
And they getting gruesome.
Only one way to find out, right? Merno asks. But then, before Merno could do anything to attack Goku, he then had gone on and sensing something as Whis out of nowhere went on to tackle Merno by shouting, "That's enough! Goku, listen to me. Hurry and grab Broly and Lord Beerus and take them back to the lookout as fast as you possibly can. Have the Guardian attempt to heal everyone as quickly as possible while I hold my brother off here. You must hurry." And with Goku doing exactly that, he then went on to respond to Whis by telling him, "Right, we need everyone at full power if we hope to hold him off. Please be careful, Whis." And with Goku using instant transmission as quickly as he could, the first individual that Goku went on to help was Beerus, as Goku went on to comment, "Hey, stay with me, Lord Beerus. I gotcha." "Oh man, look at him," Goku says. "Hang on, Broly." And with Goku then getting to Broly and putting his arm down on his chest, he then continues, "He's ripping us apart out here. Maybe if we can somehow continue to stall, it will buy us some additional time. Hang on, guys.
He's ripping y'all apart, alright.
Any of you die."
Ripping
as
you
all
niggas
the
up.
while, with Whis shown attempting to do whatever he could to stop his brother by punching him, Merno was then shown dodging each and every single one of Whis' punches as Whis went on to tell his brother, "I'll have you know that if you are lucky enough to survive what's coming, then the Grand Priest will finish you off once and for all." But Merno was not affected in the slightest by Whis' comments, as Merno had then gone on and punching Whis in the stomach by telling him, "Then bring him here, Whis. Your faith in our father will be your downfall, you disgusting little insect." As the very second Merno had gone on and punching Whis away, he then instantly dematerialized by telling Whis, "Don't you worry, Whis, I'll be right back." As the very second Goku was shown using instant transmission to go to the lookout, to Goku's horror, Merno was already there waiting for him, as Merno went on to ask, "And just where do you think you're going, Saiyan?" "What in the world? There's no way," Goku says. "He got up here faster than my instant transmission." "Oh, I'm much faster than your little instantaneous transmission, mortal.
Oh, shit.
Thank you for gathering the rats for me to slaughter. But before I do, mortal," Merno says. He had then proceeded in speed blitzing right towards Goku and whining his fist back by telling him, "My clones warned you of my power, did they not? You seem confused and concerned," Merno says, as he then quickly followed up by punching Goku in the chest by telling him, "Well, you should be, mortal filth." As right after Merno was then shown grabbing Goku by the face, he then continues, "I never liked you from the day I laid my eyes on you. Come with me, Saiyan. Let's go for a ride." And the moment Merno had then proceeded in slamming Goku down on the lookout and through it, Goku was essentially helpless in doing anything to stop Merno, as Whis had then gone on and teleporting right next to Dende by telling him, "Guardian, don't take your eyes off of them. Stay alert as I heal the others." And with Merno shown pushing Goku through the lookout and down onto the earth, you can almost kind of sense the level of dread here, as Merno went on to tell Goku, "The very essence of who I am comes from generations of training. You could never reach such levels, even if given the time." To where as soon as Merno was then shown slamming Goku's head and body onto the earth below, and not only causing Goku to once again revert back down to his base form, but while Merno had held Goku's head down on the floor, Merno had then gone on to sense something in responding, "That energy I'm sensing. Of course you try and heal those rodents again, you backstabbing little snake.
What
now
supposed
be
to do?
A good little slave and stay right where you are," Merno says. "I'll be right back. My little brother is starting to annoy me." And the moment Merno had gone on to throw Goku's body up in the air, all of a sudden Merno had then vanished. As meanwhile back on the lookout, we then see how Whis was shown using his staff in his attempts to heal Broly, Beerus, and Vegeta by telling them, "Quickly, all of you, up! Get up! Lord Beerus, stand back up! Now is not the time to die! Gather your strength and rise back up, all of you!" "Hey, Lord Beerus," Vegeta asks, Can you still fight? How dare you, Saiyan? Of course I can. Now get back up with me, both of you. But right before Whis could go on to fully heal everyone, Merno had gone on to appear and snatching away Whis' staff by telling him, "You are really beginning to get under my skin with these dirty healing tactics of yours. You won't be needing this anymore, weakling. Good luck attempting to heal those idiots without your crutch. You should be ashamed of yourself, you traitor," Merno says. "You are a traitor to your angel race and a conniving little snake who will be eradicated without a trace. You think healing these creatures will help? You are only causing them to repeat the suffering that they are already enduring. I'll show you what true power is," Merno says, as he then went on to smack Whis with his own staff across the face. With Whis' body sliding forward on the lookout, Merno then went on to continue, "I might as well leave you for last as I force you to watch these creatures die 100 deaths over.
Shit.
And this," Merno says, "the Staff of the Angels. A powerful weapon with limitless potential. You won't be needing this," as Merno had gone on in disintegrating Whis' staff right before everyone's eyes. As the others are then shown having to stand back up, Vegeta went on to put this into question by asking, "Since you know," Vegeta says, "that we won't stop fighting you until you're dead, why don't you save yourself the trouble and kill us already?" With Beerus responding, "Because, Saiyan, he's doing it for sport. This is the first time that he's been tested like this since his exile, so of course he's using us as punching bags. If I just so desired," Merno says, "I would have killed you all upon my arrival on this backwater planet. But what's the point of death if you can't listen to your victims scream? One way or another, the Grand Priest will have to make a decision. Will he choose to help you live, or will he watch you all die?" As in the meantime...
Damn, Merno, fuck. That nigga is fucking crazy, ain't he? Gosh. God, Jilly Wee. Merno? Damn. This nigga just toying with them. He really could fuck all these niggas up real easy, real smooth. It wouldn't be a problem, but... Boy, I'm glad he holding back. That nigga ripped off Broly's arms, nigga. I ain't gonna lie. Once you rip off... Look... If you rip off a nigga's arms, I'm done fighting. Like, I'm like, well, I'm gonna get off this universe, man. I'm gonna catch y'all. I'm fuck with you. Nah, but shout out to UnrealEntGaming for this, man. And Merno's a fucking demon. And you like my reaction? Make sure you like, comment, subscribe, and I'll catch you next time. Peace.